Welcome to Leading Voices by GSF. My name is Antoni, Lacinai, your host for this YouTube initiative, and also a global speaker myself. My passion is communication and motivation and engagement. Let's see what the passion is for our guest today, Julie Nottage, all the way from down under. Can I say that? Is that okay?
Well, that's Australia. We're
That was
from
more
New
Australia.
Zealand.
Yeah, you live in New Zealand. Sorry. My bad. But you are the president of PSANZ, so the whole area of New Zealand and Australia, right?
Just New Zealand. Yeah.
Just New Zealand. Okay. Wrong again. I'm going to do this again from the start now because I did too many errors. So let's do it from the beginning.
Sure.
Welcome to Leading Voices by GSF. My name is Antoni Lacinai, global speaker and a host for this YouTube initiative. Today it's time to talk to New Zealand. Hello, Julie. How are you?
Hello. Well, hello.
You know, if I drill a hole all the way down to the other side of the world, I'm going to end up in New Zealand, probably right at your doorstep.
True. Very true.
But you're from England from the start, right?
Yeah, originally from England, and I've been living in New Zealand for 13 years now.
Being the president of the association in New Zealand as well.
Yeah, I became president this year, so very exciting role.
Sounds good. Okay, before I ask you about your presidency, first, what is it that you talk about when you're out in the world?
Yeah, well, in my speaking business, I talk about how to win multi-million-dollar contracts. And who doesn't want to win multi-million-dollar contracts?
That's a hard one to say no to, for sure. Good. And especially if I remember within your area of expertise, which is about engineering and things like that, right?
Yeah, true. So I'm a civil engineer by trade and work with engineers and contractors. So originally from England, and then I worked in a straight line, and I went and lived in the Middle East for a couple of years, and then carried on a straight line and ended up in New Zealand.
All right, and there you are now. Good. All right, you're the president right now, and I'd like to ask you, what is it that you want to contribute to your association in your presidency?
Sure. The thing that I'm focused on with the presidency is having a strong foundation. With my engineering talk here, it's about having a strong foundation to put a structure on. And when I talk about having a strong foundation, I'm talking about having...
I lost your voice now. Is it, you didn't mute, right? No?
Pardon?
Back again. Okay, let's go on. I didn't hear you there for a while.
Oh, so when I'm talking about a strong foundation, I'm talking about having a really strong structure on there. So I can... Did it break up?
Yes, it breaks up. It's a sound this time.
Okay,
try again.
Just hold on. Okay, let's give it another go. So when I'm talking about building a foundation as a presidency, it's about having strong systems in places and processes to, keep the association going and keeping it strong for future presidents to come along.
Would you say that there is a challenge right now to make all of those structures in place? Didn't you have anything before?
Not a really solid structure. And I think as one president comes in and one leaves, it's really, I want to make sure the system's in place for those smooth transitions and making sure it's like running your own business. It's a business. The association is a business. So as all business would have processes and systems in place, I really want to make those strong so that, for the future of the organization, I can set them in place and be confident that those systems will continue and the business will continue.
Give us a super concrete example of what that can be.
Yeah, so for example, I've been setting up portfolios so that everybody's got a part of the association they're looking at. It could be, you know, what happens at the monthly meetings, you know, who organizes it, what happens with social media, technology. So it's all these things, who's paying the bills, who's looking after, you know, the bottom line, all those systems that you would normally have in a business is what I'm incorporated into New Zealand.
Got it. So structure, foundation, stability. If you have that, it's
definitely
much easier to do the rest as well. Okay, so those I wanted to ask you about perhaps a challenge or something, but you actually mentioned it already. So tell us instead about something that your association is doing really well that others can learn from.
I think we do well because we're a small country right at the end of the world, but we've actually got big voices and we make big impacts. And I think what we do well is we actually attend a lot of the global conferences, and we've always got a presence somewhere around the world. I think we're actually really good at traveling and making sure, you know, from our small country that we've got a big voice.
All right, and when it comes to activities that have been done already, I'm not talking about what you're doing right now. What is it that you do in order to make your members feel, you know, happy, grow, and so on?
Yeah, I think we have lots of different levels of members. Obviously, we have our CSPs, and we've got our professional, and we've got our associated members. And so one of the things that we like to do is make sure we're offering good value for all those levels. And really for our CSPs, because sometimes I feel that they get left out because we maybe focus on the newer members or those just starting out on their speaker journey who maybe need the help. So we do a lot of work within each of those brackets. So even those CSPs who are well established, we've got events and things that we do for all of them.
So there's separate events depending on.
Yeah, and we've also set up different groups. So we've got a group of CSPs so we can all speak together on a CSP level. And then we've got groups for our newer members because they can speak on their level. And then obviously we all come together in person at the meetings. But I think it was really important to make sure we got something for our CSPs, because obviously we need our CSPs because, you know, they've got a lot of experience that they can bring for the newer members.
So do they act like mentors somehow to the ones that comes?
Definitely mentors. But now we've got a system in place where we can also mentor each other as CSPs, whereas we didn't really have that before. And so it was always the CSPs mentoring the newer ones, but where was the support for the CSPs?
All right. Yeah. Okay. So that's in place now as well. And you're also a CSP. I know that. So congratulations to that.
Thank you.
You already mentioned that you're good at traveling and being international. We have, when we record this, we have 17 associations around the world connected to GSF, and 2 more is coming in as it looks like right now. What would you say that the Global Speakers Federation can do for you?
I think exactly what it says in the title, be global. It's actually a place where any member can go and access, and obviously access any of those conferences or summits around the world. I know me in particular, I look, you know, each year to see what's coming up and what country I might go to. and really make a focus to travel. And I think it's a golden opportunity for any member of a organization of the PSA to actually experience going to a different country and, you know, going to one of the global events.
I agree. It's really good. So the Global Speaker Summit in Australia, is that a place we're going to meet, you and I?
Yes, definitely. In Cairns.
Definitely. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Anything I should have asked you that I forgot?
Well, I tell you what we have been doing, which is very exciting for us in New Zealand, and you might or might not be aware of, but we have launched a book. And I think it's a good idea for any organization. And what we've done is we've got together our top speakers, and then we've launched, we call it the Trailblazers book. This is our second one now. And we've got our book launch on the 28th of March. And I'll tell you what we actually did different this year, being global, is we actually got 9 global speakers to be part of the book. So how cool is that, that we can actually spread the word around the world? And I think that's what I was going back to before. We're a small country, but we like to be global and have a voice. And this is the book. It's not quite released yet, 28th of March. And
what is it about? I couldn't see that. What is it about? Elevate your success. What does it say?
Yeah, so basically it's leading strategies from top professional speakers. So each speaker gets 2 to 3 pages to write about their keynote or what they speak about to add value. And so this is really good for conference organizers, all in one book. You can choose your speaker. But it's also good for anybody to read because every speaker had to give some value in their chapter. So it's basically a nugget of information from all our top speakers and some of our global speakers.
Well, it is an awesome idea. Actually, we also have 2 books in Sweden that we done like this. 12 speakers' thoughts on communication, for instance, and so on. It's really good, and it brings us together even more. And I know that VSAI is also in a process right now doing that. But first of all, congratulations to your book. I don't know exactly when this will be published, but if it's after the launch, then congratulations.
Yeah, we're going to have a big launch on the 28th of March. So we're all super excited. And some of our international authors are also flying in for the event.
Sounds really exciting. And I hope that it will be a smashing success, of course, as well.
Yes, well, it's the second time we've done it now. The first time was a success, even though it was through COVID. But this time it will be, you know, face-to-face, red carpet affair.
Wow. Well, that sounds awesome. I wish you all the best with that one. And thank you for having this conversation with me.
No, it's been my pleasure.